Hello everyone and welcome back to the finale of Abu Dhabi. Today we are going to be discussing everything. But this ain't a podcast. I will be doing a dedicated podcast some point in the week. So look out for that on the channel. But we are going to be discussing that man, Max Verstappen, and the controversy surrounding the victory. So, I want to say congratulations to Max Verstappen and Red Bull Racing. They did not get the constructors, but I'm sure they would not care one jot. I mean, Mercedes don't care that they won the constructors, obviously, but Max Verstappen is the champion, and I congratulate him. I am rooting for him, of course. But overall, fantastic race. I'm going to say the race was average. The race was okay at the start. It was a tad bit boring, but that was only because Lewis was getting unchallenged up ahead and he was blasting away. So yeah, but overall, it is a fantastic end to the race. So let me paint you the picture. The race started. Then on the first couple of laps, the first lap, Lewis cheated and went off wide to avoid a collision, which he could have backed out of, backed out the corner and let Max pass. And then on the other straight he could have got the slipstream and then tried for an overtake then, but he cheated, went off the road, gained advantage, and they said that eventually he gave that gap back. He dropped back to close up to Max, which he never did. So okay. And then we just let that go. And then it all started when Latifi crashed, and there was about 5 or 6 laps left of the race, and when he crashed, marshals came on. A safety car was brought out, of course, because of the car was crashed into the wall, and the marshals needed to come on the track with a truck or something to recover that car. And as they were doing that, Verstappen cleverly went into the pits, brought fresher tyres on than Lewis, because he went for the softest tyre, Max Verstappen, and Lewis had the choice of going in the pits and then obviously did not choose to do so. So he stayed out, and that was the decision that decided the Grand Prix in the whole scheme of things, because now I'm not going to be in Lewis's camp, I am slightly in Max's, but for the sake of this argument, if Lewis pitted, then Max pitted, then both of them would have been on the same tyre and raced to the end for that one last lap. But if another scenario happened and Max stayed out, Lewis went in, then the shoe would be on the other foot, wouldn't it? So yeah, it's one of them things. But at that point, Perez retired, because another theory is that if he continued Perez and had some sort of broken engine or some sort of technical fault, then a yellow flag would have been coming out again, and we would have not got the last lap action that we did. So Red Bull cleverly brought Perez in and retired him, just so we could have that last lap. And yeah, so everything is going well, but few cars ahead in between Max and Lewis, so Michael Masi just let them pass, and Max was able to close up on Lewis, which was fantastic for Max. So yeah, the thing about not letting all the cars pass when it's just the 5 cars is that he specifically asked for the 5 cars to move out the way, get ahead of the safety car. He didn't ask for the ones at the back because of course we never would have gotten that last lap. But if you let cars past, you don't have to wait for them to catch the crocodile at the back of the train. So some would say that if we let the whole pack who were lapped past, then they could have easily had the last lap anyway. But hey-oh, they just let the selected cars go past, and then because otherwise that would not be fair on Max after doing so hard, pushing the tyres to the limit, closing that gap to Lewis. And yeah, so unfair on Max. On Lewis's half, I mean, you can say if you're a Lewis fan it was unfair on Lewis, but that's that really. I will be going further into detail and all that juicy jazz in the podcast this week, so look out for that on the channel. But overall, we did get that last lap, and it was juicy. It was the most juiciest laps Verstappen could have asked for. Verstappen closed up on Lewis on that brand new turn on the track, turn 5 I think it was. Got him there, and then tried to break the slipstream. Then he went into a bit too deep into the little corkscrew bit, and then at the end of it, Lewis could have made life worse for Max, but he didn't. So yeah, and after all that, we knew what happened. Max first, Lewis second. But there was 2 appeals from the Mercedes to the FIA to reinstate Lewis after the Grand Prix happened. One because he slightly put a nose ahead of Lewis's, which obviously is not over the safety car line, so that rule would not apply, which was chalked away. And the other one obviously was to do with the safety car. But Michael Masi said clearly that all 20 drivers signed off at the Grand Prix for Michael Masi to do what he wanted during that Grand Prix, including Bottas and Lewis. So Bottas and Lewis easily could have made life worse for Verstappen and Perez, but they just didn't. They had the pace, but sometimes a bit of luck needs to go your way, and it did for Max Verstappen. Well done to Max, by the way. Next up, blimey, 9 minutes on talking about Max v Lewis. Next up is retiring Kimi Räikkönen. Of course, 20 years in the sport. Fantastic sport he was in it. The best thing he has ever done was won the hearts of every F1 fan, but most of all, he probably done himself proud. He wouldn't say too many words, but he did get that title winner by a couple points, or a point ahead of Lewis Hamilton back in 2007. So yeah, just imagine what life would have been like if Lewis gotten his first title in his first season. I mean, that would have been weird, that would have. But yeah, Kimi is a fantastic icon in the sport. He'll always be welcome in the sport. He is a legend in the making, even though he's not in the making, he's passed now. But he is a legend of F1, and thanks for everything, Kimi Räikkönen, because without him, the sport wouldn't be what it is. You got different characters and all that, and it's just Kimi Räikkönen is one of the best drivers out there. So, mind you, he did have a little break in rallying, but I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that back in the day he was going to come back for the 2010 season or 2011 season, but Ferrari paid him not to compete and wait basically till the 2013 or 2012 season. But yeah, that was that. Thank you, Kimi, and you will be missed. So, moving on to the next part, and I'm going to make this short because it is majority of Max and Lewis, so you know. But the season as a whole has been fantastic. It's been one of the best seasons since God knows how long, but it has been one phenomenal season, and the more deserving champion won the championship, because if there wasn't a Max Verstappen, then the season would have been another dull season, because Max Verstappen provides that entertaining factor. He dive bombs into maneuvers that people just think, wow, how can he go for that gap? But as people say, if you won't go for the gap, you're not a racing driver. So yeah, Verstappen, fantastic driver, fantastic moves he's made throughout the season. Some over the line, well, Lewis fans would say is over the line, but you know, he's Max Verstappen. It's the next generation now, and I believe Lewis has had his final title challenge. I'm going to say it now. Lewis Hamilton's title reign will stay 7 times, because you got the young guns now. You got Russell joining Mercedes and upsetting Lewis's stride. So yeah, who knows? Maybe Lewis might retire before next season. Who knows? Maybe he wanted that 8th title to bow out, but will he know now that he might not win another title due to the new regs and the new generation coming up, like Max Verstappen, like Lando Norris, like Russell, like Leclerc, and all these different drivers. So it's going to be a long winter for Lewis Hamilton to contemplate his F1 career. But who knows? Because he could have won the 8th title and done a Rosberg and just left. But that is that. I think that's it for today. Comment below if you think Max deserved the win or deserved the title, or if Lewis deserved the title. But that has been that. Subscribe, like, comment and share. This is the race reaction, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you and goodbye.